Welcome friends. Welcome to Current Affair Funda Free Education Revolution. So, today we are going to start our lecture. Before starting our lecture, I want to say about something about our channel that we are delivering free education for you. So please spread the word among your friends and share for those people who cannot afford coaching, and learning is priceless. So please do at least, if you want any specific topic video, then please do comment on our Facebook channel, which is www.facebook.com Current Affairs Funda CAF. And if you like our videos, then please do subscribe it on YouTube, so that whenever we upload any new video, then you will be definitely notified by our channel. So now we are going to start. Our topic is secondary storage devices. We are going through this. That's a secondary storage devices. We already learned about it, magnetic tape. And now we came here now magnetic disk. We already learned the mechanism of magnetic disk, how it does work. Now in this session we will learn about the various type of magnetic disk available. Okay. So now we are going to start our new topic, magnetic disk. Our this is not a magnetic tape. Not a magnetic tape, it is a magnetic disk. Okay. So our magnetic disk is divided into two parts, floppy disk and hard disk. So first of all we will learn about what is floppy disk. After that we will learn about hard disk, and your hard disk also comes in various types, which is zip disk, disk pack and Winchester disk. All these things we will get to know. So now we are going to proceed to our first type of magnetic disk, which is floppy disk. Okay. Basically, floppy disk is a round, flat piece of flexible plastic disk coated with magnetic oxide. I already explained you that your magnetic disk is a round coated disk, but in your picture you can't even see this because the disk is encased in this plastic cover. So you are not able to see this disk, but your disk is inside this floppy disk, and which is obviously round in shape and flat piece of flexible plastic disk coated with magnetic oxide. Your disk is coated with material magnetic oxide. Now next point. So called because they are made of plastic plates which can be bent. So what is mean? That it is made by flexible plastic plate which can be bent, and also known as floppies or diskette. We also call our floppy disk as a floppies or diskettes. Next point is plastic disk is encased in a square plastic jacket. ये जो plastic disk है वो किस में encased होती है? Square plastic jacket cover that gives handling protection, and this cover will gives handling protection to the disk surface. You can't even see your disk here now, so that your disk is protected in a plastic encased jacket. Okay. There are two types of floppy disks in use today, which is first of all 1¼ inch diskette, and second one is 3½ inch diskette. What is the 5¼ inch diskette means? Whose diameter is, you know that your disk is like that. So this is your called diameter. This is the one, that is why it is called 1¼ inch diskette. Why so? Because its diameter is 1¼ inch. It is encased in a square flexible Winley jacket. Actually, the jacket in which it is covered is a very flexible Winley jacket. You can bend it, okay? And your 3.5-inch diskette whose diameter is 3.5 inch is encased in a square hard plastic. This kind of diskette is placed encased with a hard plastic jacket, not a Windley jacket which can be bent. Okay. Next point is most popular and expensive. This type of secondary device is very popular and inexpensive, means it is so cheap in price, so it is inexpensive secondary storage medium used in small computer, in your computer systems, your laptop. Nowadays we are not using it, but in older days floppies are very popular secondary storage device. A few people not even seen that one floppy disk. Now we came to our second type of magnetic disk, which is called hard disk. What about it? First of all, first point is round flat piece of rigid metal. Your floppy disk is made by plastic material, but this is made by rigid metal. Okay, frequently aluminium. Normally this is mostly made by aluminium type of metal. This coated with magnet oxide. This kind of disk also coated with which material? Magnetic oxide. Okay. Next point is come in many sizes. Your hard disk come in many sizes ranging from 1 to 14-inch diameter. Okay. And your hard disk is divided into three categories also, which is chip disk, disk pack and Winchester disk. Okay. Next point, primary online. I already told you what is offline. Like you want to keep records, all your employees data is kind of a offline storing, and banking procedure or your ticket booking procedure is all online kind of procedure. So it is a primarily online secondary storage device for most computer system. Primarily means in your almost in all computer you've seen hard disk. Okay, you know that your computer have a hard disk. Whether you don't have a optical disk, you don't have a magnetic tape, it will be okay. But in your computer there will, like RAM and ROM, their hard disk also in your computer. You can buy according to your choice, according to your requirement, that how big in size, how much data it can store your hard disk. This will be decided by you, and you can select that one kind of hard disk. But your most of what in me it is that it will always in your computer available. Hard disk always available in your computer. So it is a primary. Okay. Definitely it will be on your computer and an online secondary storage device for most computer system. Now we came to the different types of hard disk. First is zip, or we call it Bernoulli disk. What we call it? Bernoulli disk. This is I already put a picture of this zip disk. Now going to first point of zip disk, uses a single hard disk, means in your zip disk there is only a one single hard disk platter encased in a plastic cartridge. Okay. Next point, disk drives may be portable or fixed type, means in which drive you insert your zip disk, it may be portable or fixed type, means it is already built in your computer or you attach this by outside, and after that you inserted your zip disk into it and work on it. Okay, so it is depends that you want it fixed or portable, means want to attach it from the outside. Okay. Next point, fixed type is a part of computer system. I already told you about what is fixed type and portable. Now it is explained again that fixed type drive is a part of the computer, means it is already attached in your computer, permanently connected to it. Okay. And what is the portable type? Portable type can be carried to a computer system, means it can be carried to one computer to another computer, connected to it. You connect that one drive to your computer for a duration of use, and then can be disconnected and taken away when the work is done. You can disconnect your disk drive and whenever your work is done. Next point of zip disk is zip disk can be easily inserted or removed from a zip drive, just as we insert or remove floppy disk or floppy disk drive. Okay, it is very easy, just like your CD and CD driver. It is also like this zip and zip driver. Okay, that you inserted your zip disk and after working you can remove your zip disk again. Okay, now we came to our next type of hard disk, which is disk pack. Disk pack actually have a container, and in this container you can see in the pic that there is a lots of magnetic disks are here, one after that or the other. Okay, and it means if you seen that it has a larger storage space. Why so? Because you can see in a picture there are so many hard disks are in one encased container. Okay, so it can store very large amount of data. Okay, and this container is inserted in your hard disk drive, and whenever your work is done you just put it on outside from the driver, and you can, it means it is a portable kind of thing. Okay, now we are going to learn about it. First point, use multiple two or more hard disks, means it has at least two or more hard disks platter mounted on a single central shaft. You can see that it is a shaft, and in this two or more, here are so many, maybe 10 or more disks are encased. Okay, second point, disk drives have a separate read or write head. Actually, for each disk there is a separate read or write head. I already told you that this is your head, and your disk is moved like that, and it will read the data from your disk. Okay, so disk drive have a separate read or write head. If your disk pack has 7 disks, then it will have 7 disks read or write head, or you have a 10 disk in your disk pack, then definitely there will be 10 read or write head. Okay, so disk drive have a separate read write head for each usable disk surface, the upper and lower. First of all, this is the case that first and the lower part is not used for first upper of the topmost disk, and the lower surface of the bottommost disk is not used. Why so? If you see in your book, this is your book. Okay, you never write a data anything on your first page, and even you never write anything on your last page. Why so? Because while carrying your book from one place to another, most of the time your first page get damaged. Okay, it can be peel it off, or it can be get dirty. So that is why for a protection we never write anything on our first and last page. Same like that, the uppermost part of your disk, we never disk driver never read or write anything on it. Same like that, on the lower part disk driver never read or write anything on it. Okay, now we are going to our next point. Disks are of removal. Your disk is removable, means whenever your task is done you can remove it from your disk drive. Interchangeable means if your data is stored in all 10 disks and you want to store more data, then what will happen? You just remove one your disk pack and insert another disk pack in the disk drive, and again started your storing data. Okay, so it is a removable or interchangeable type in the sense that they have to be mounted on the disk drive before they can be used. Okay, and can be removed and kept offline when not in use. Means whenever your work is done, you can kept off this disk pack from your drive and keep it up in your shelf also. Okay, now the last type of your hard disk is Winchester disk. Okay, you can see in this photograph here these seem just like a disk pack, but they are simple, similar, not simple. but there is some difference between this Pakt and Winchester disk. First of all, it also has so many disks. Here you can see that 4 disks are here. Okay, but what is the difference between this Pakt and Winchester disk? Here you can see that your this Pakt have a driver. It means that it comes with the driver also. Okay, you don't need to carry it, and you cannot increase or decrease the size of your disk. Means if it has a 4 disk, then it means it will be have a 4 disk. You cannot make increase, means you cannot make more 4 more or 5 another disk also inserted on this disk Pakt. So it is not possible, and you can see that it has a special read and write and driver already it is available here. So it comes with a whole Pakt with this driver and disk. And this is there are also another difference that the disk driver can also write or read data in the upper part and the lower part. Why so? Because here we never ever you can say that we never ever carry out this disk from one place to another place. Okay, so the damages will never be happen here. So there is we can write data upper part and the lower part too. Now we are going to points of Winchester disk. First of all, use multiple. Here you can see in the pic that we use multiple 2 or more hard disk platter mounted on a single central shaft. Okay. Next point, hard disk platter and the disk driver are sealed together. You can see that disk driver and hard disk sealed together in a pack, okay, in a contamination free container and cannot be separated from each other. You cannot separate your disk driver and disk separate, okay. It is combinedly here, and you will have to use it together, okay. Now the next point is, for the same number of disks, Winchester disks have a larger storage. Why so? Capacity than the disk Pakt. Here, this is saying that Winchester disk has a larger space capacity than disk Pakt. If you see that the previous one disk Pakt, I already explained about you that disk Pakt, in disk Pakt you can increase the disk number of disks. If it has a suppose 5 disks, you can add more 3 disks also. But in Winchester disk it is not possible. If it is a 5 disk, then it will be 5 always, okay. But in this point it is saying that for the same number of disks, but if you have a same number of disks, means you are not adding these 3 disks in the disk Pakt. This is your Winchester disk, okay. So if you are not increasing the size of the disk Pakt, then the storage capacity of Winchester disk is greater than disk Pakt. Why so? Because I already told you the upper part you can write on the upper and the lower part, which is not possible in disk Pakt. Okay, upper and lower part is left uncovered. Okay, all the surface. Here I already discusses right on it that all the surface of all this are used for the data recording, which is not possible in its disk Pakt. Okay, and the next point is they employ, means they use much greater precision of data recording, result in greater data recording density. Here is data recording density is greater than a disk Pakt. Okay. Now we came here the advantages of magnetic disk. Magnetic disk means all floppy disk, hard disk, and your hard disk types, which is zip disk, disk Pakt, and Winchester disk. These all comes in your magnetic disk. So we are here again came the advantages of magnetic disk. First of all, first advantage is more suitable than magnetic tapes for a wider range of application because they support direct access data. We already know that magnetic tape is a sequential device, and direct access devices whom is magnetic tape and other optical disk and memory storage devices. So this is the magnetic disk is widely used by why so? Because it has a direct access. Okay, we can access data from anywhere from the memory. I already told you that I can access from anywhere from my memory. Okay. Next point, random access property means you can access randomly from anywhere. This is called the random access property. Enables that to be used simultaneously by multiple user as a shared device. Suppose this is your memory. I already give it to you to your example that this is your memory. Okay, and in each cell there is a data. One user want a data which is here, and one user want data which is in this cell, and one user want data which is here. If I will use magnetic tape, you already know that in magnetic tape data is a sequential way. Okay, so if a person need a data, one person need a data of this cell and one person need a data from this cell, they both have to go from this way. Okay, first first one one user will also access then one data, and second one will also able to access then one whether it is usable for second one user or not. But this is not case in a direct access device. So here you can see that for a direct access, random access characteristic, multiple user can access same simultaneously means at the same time. Simultaneously means same time. At the same time, you can multiple user can access data because they do not consider about this cell what is stored in this cells or what is stored in this cell, and same like that this one user 3 will not be considered this one cell and this one cell also. Okay, so multiple users can access or share the device, your memory. A tape is not suitable for such type of users due to its sequential access. I already told that even a second user will go through this path. So he will be able to access this one data also. Okay. So in sequential access, this will be not possible. Now, the third one advantage of magnetic disk is except for the fixed type Winchester disk. Only if you exclude your Winchester disk, you cannot increase or decrease the number of disks in Winchester disk, but in all other zip disk or disk pack or your floppy disk, you can make more and more disk. Okay, this is possible. So the storage capacity of other magnetic disks is virtually unlimited. Why so? Because you can increase number of disks. Okay, as many as this can be used for storing very large data set. Due to their low cost and high recording densities, the cost per bit of storage is low for magnetic disk. I already told you that how you will recognize the cost of per bit. Maybe hard disk comes in a very thousand, suppose in thousand, but the recording capacity has a very large amount. I already told you it is greater than 100 GB. So you can imagine that the cost per bit to store a data is very low. Okay. Now we came to next advantage of magnetic disk. An additional cost benefit is that magnetic disk can be erased and reused. Okay, like your ROM or other memory devices. We already talked about it previous lecture. Is that key that we can erase or reuse many type. Floppy disks and zip disks are compact and light in weight. If you seen in your previous slides that floppy disk is very small in size, zip disk also, so they are compact and light in weight, hence they are easy to handle and store. Next example, very large amount of data can be stored in a small storage space. You can store a very large amount of data in this kind of magnetic disk. Now, next advantages are except for the fixed type Winchester disk, means excluding your Winchester disk type, the storage capacity of other magnetic disks is virtually unlimited. As many as disks can be used for storing very large data set. Okay. Next point is due to their low cost, because it has a low cost and high data recording density, the cost per bit is low for magnetic disk. I think so. These 3 points already covered in the previous slide, so don't need to go through this with again. Sorry. Okay. Now came here. Very large amount of data can be stored in a small storage space. This one also we have covered. So now go to this point that the data transfer rate for a magnetic disk system is normally higher than a tape system. Okay. What this means that your data transfer rate means to data access from the disk is very high. So in compare of magnetic tape. Okay. This is our next advantage. And after that, magnetic disks are less vulnerable to data corruption due to careless handling. If you are not carrying this very carefully, even though your data will not get corrected so easily. Okay, whether you burn it or break it down, this is another matter. But otherwise, your hard disk never get damaged so easily. Okay. So they vulnerable to data correction due to careless handling or unfavorable temperature and humidity condition that magnetic tapes. I already told you that in magnetic tapes, if there is so much humidity because it is made by plastic ribbon, so your plastic ribbon can be attached to each other, so they can be damaged so easily, but it is not happen in your magnetic disk. Okay. Now came to the limitations of magnetic disk. First of all, for Winchester disk, we cannot increase or increase or decrease the size. So this one is the main limitation for Winchester disk. A disk crash or driver fail. If you're in Winchester disk, because it comes with the disk driver, and if your disk crash or your driver get failed, often result in loss of entire restored data, because whatever the data is stored in your Winchester disk, you can never be able to access it again. Okay, so it is not easy to recover the lost data. It is not easy means it may be possible to recover the data, but not so easy. You not so easily you can recover the data. Okay. Next limitation, some types of magnetic disk such as Disk and Winchester disk are not so easily portable. You can see in the photographs that your Disk and Winchester is in so many disks are attached in it, so it is not so easy to carry out from one place to another. So it is not easy to portable like magnetic tapes. So magnetic tapes is small in size, so they are portable, but this pack and Winchester disc are big in size, so it is not possible to carry out from one place to another. So they are not portable. Okay. Next limitation of magnetic disk is on a cost per bit basis. If you consider for a cost per bit basis, the cost of magnetic disk is low, but the cost of magnetic tape is even lower. Okay, I already told this that cost per bit is low, but if you consider as a magnetic tape, then magnetic tape is will be more lower than magnetic disk 5. So I already told that your magnetic tapes normally come in around 20 to 40 rupees. So they are so low in price, that's why the cost per bit will be much lower than magnetic disk. Okay. Next, your limitation of magnetic disk is must be stored a dust free environment. You must store your magnetic disk in a dust free environment. Now the uses where you can use your magnetic disk. First point is for application that are based on random data processing, where you want to randomly access your data. In that kind of application, you can use magnetic disk. Okay. Next use is where you can use as a shared online secondary storage device. Okay. Where multiple user can share up your secondary storage device online. There you can use magnetic disk. Winchester Disk and disk packs are often used for this purpose, okay, because they have several disks in a one pack, okay. Next uses where they can be used as a backup device. You can store data for a backup in this device. So as a backup device for offline storage of data, floppy disk, zip disk and disk packs are often used for this purpose, okay. For backup you can use also, and for transferring of data. If you want to transfer your data and program from one computer to another that are not linked together, then you can store the information or program in your magnetic disk and carry out with to another computer and insert in the disk driver, and now the data or program will be available to your another computer which is not connected to your computer too, okay. Now here the magnetic disk and their types all is done. Now we came to our next secondary direct access storage device, which is called optical disk, okay. Now first of all we will learn what is optical disk, because it is also a round plated disk. Then what is the difference between magnetic disk and optical disk, we are going to see in here. Now read the first point. Consists of a circular disk. It is also a circular disk which is coated with a thin metal or some other material that is highly reflected, okay. There in the magnetic disk it is coated with the magnetizable thing, okay, magnet oxide, I think so. This one thing is coated on your disk, but in optical disk it is not like that. It is coated with a thin metal or some other material that is highly reflected, okay. There in your magnetic disk there is a driver to write the data, but here in optical disk there is a technology used which is called laser beam technology is used for recording or reading of data on the disk in your VCD, in your DVD, in all these kind of stuff, even in your laptop nowadays. When you insert your CD, there is not any driver, any, or you can say read or write head. There is a technique is used which is called laser beam. Whenever a laser beam is reflected in your CD, whatever the data is stored there, it will be read down by the laser beam. Similarly like that, if you want to write anything in your CD, the laser beam stuck on this surface and will burn that area, okay, and store the information through laser beam technique, okay. So now we came to our next point, also known as laser disc. We also call our optical disc as a laser disc or optical laser disc due to the use of laser beam technology, okay. Why so? Because we use laser beam technology. Next point, proved to be a promising random access medium for high capacity secondary storage, okay. It is a very promising random access device to store a very high capacity secondary storage, okay, because it can store extremely large amount of data in a limited space. If you consider your CDs have a very large amount to store in it, okay. So they are very promising in storing category, okay. Now we came to our next point, has one long spiral tag. In your magnetic disk, if you remember, your disk has several tracks like that, okay. But in your optical disk there is only one track like that, which is go like a spiral, like your spring, okay. Something like that. You can see in this picture that it started from outer circle and now started to inner circle. So there is a one last track, okay, not so many track, there is only a one track. So has one long spiral track which is start at outer edge, it means it is start from here, okay. Now which is start from here and end up in the inner here, okay. So has one long spiral track which start at the outer edge and spiral invert the center. Okay. Next point is track is divided into equal size sector. Your track is divided into equal size of sector. Again, you will divide your tracks like that. That this is sector, this is sector, this is sector, this is your sector. Okay, so same amount of size of sector divided your track. Next, with optical disc, each sector has the same length. In optical disc, each sector has the same length regardless of whether it is located near or away from the disc center. Next point, rotation speed of disc. Your rotation speed of disc must vary inversely with the radius. Actually, it is a random access device, but it is not like that because it has a spiral way of track. I already explained in the diagram. Here the beam starts from here and it will be traverse like that. And whenever it got the data, it will access, suppose your data is there, then it will access this one data. Okay. So it work like a sequential access, but the mechanism is very fast. So you never ever realize that it is working like a sequential access. This is working like a direct access. If you seen your CD, if your CD is a like music CD and you want to listen your CD song which is on number position 105th position, so you just press that you want to listen the 105th position song, but it is not it will directly play this one song for you. Okay, but you never ever seen that your CD start rotating very fastly to reach that one place. Okay, so basically it's work like a sequential access, but because it is very fast to access the data, so you never realize that it is accessing data like a sequential way. So this also come in a direct access device because it will not take so much time to access the data which is stored here or here. Okay, next point, lead to slower data access time, because if your data is so inward location, so it will take some times, so it leads to slower data access time. For larger access time means for optical disk than magnetic disk, because in magnetic disk you can read or write data from anywhere. Here also possible, but this will rotate to reach over there, so it will take some nanosecond more time. So here access time will become much greater, larger. Okay. Now the next point of optical disc is use laser beam technology. What technology is used? It use laser beam technology for reading or writing data. And the next point is has no mechanical read or write access arm. It has no mechanical access arm. In like your magnetic disk, there is a driver and a arms which have a read or write head, but there is a no mechanism is used here. So this kind of mechanism also not used in your optical disk. Okay. So here we have finished our mechanism which is used in your optical disk. In our next lecture, we will get to know that how many type of optical discs are available, and the other secondary storage device, which is flash drive or memory card. We will also learn about those kind of devices in our last and the next video lecture of secondary memory device. So here is the end of our lecture, and if you like our videos, our channel, then please do subscribe it from YouTube, because whenever we upload any new video, then you will be directly notified. Any suggestion you want to give us, then please do comment on our videos, and any specific video you want, then also comment that you want to video on that topic. And if you find any problem while this lecture, then you can also ask me, and you can again ask that thing to me that you didn't understand it, then I will definitely give you answer, explain it again to you. Okay, but try to understand it again and again while seeing my this video. Okay, because I explained it very in a very simple way, so try to understand it by your own. But if you didn't able to understand it, then you can please comment and I will explain you again about it, that what the type you didn't understand again. Okay, so now friends, here is the end of a lecture. So goodbye, have a nice day.